It's always a pleasure having you, and I hope everyone is okay. We had feedback from our last video. It was awesome, and we believe it is you, our viewers, making us who we are. A lot of things have happened in the political world, from the sad stories to the, of course, there is always interesting stories. We have learned about a lot of things. We're going to be discussing a lot of things, from the sad stories to what has made some of us happy. And with me today, it is Honorable Kyagulanyi Musa Tariq.
Yes.
Honorable Tsenyo Kuraba Sebo.
Nango kusanga sebo.
Honorable chidi kitya program esembe wagira botya?
Program esembe teyalimbi.
Yes.
Yes, we got to share and we also got to put out information. Yes, and with time zikiriza, many people will see this information and maybe it will be helpful. We had a lot of course messages and notifications coming through nga bagamba abantu bekawempe mwasuwa nnyo Honorable because of course of his brilliant ideas and insightful thoughts. But we believe there is another chance for you because Honorable Nchima yogenda kukomawo next time, right? Yes.
Yes. So Honorable, we are going to start we are going to start there, and then we are going to start with this. We are going to start with a very sad story. Last week we learned about the death of Edith Mufumbiro, the wife of Waisswa Mufumbiro.
Yeah.
Waisswa Mufumbiro is right now in prison for the unlawful parade, and that was the reason why he was taken. The wife, I think, she has been sick, and we saw when the news broke out, the sad news broke out, we heard that NUP as a party, but him as a personal person and his lawyers, they were trying to find grounds on how we can, get into the funeral places so that he can say goodbye to the wife. But he was denied. But before we go to that sad story, what do you think? I think this is the first time I'm asking you about this, but what is your take on that unlawful parade that the NUP people or members got involved in, which brought a lot of dramatic scenes?
First of all, you've said unlawful, right? Now, why the double standards? What makes it unlawful? I do not see if these individuals possessed guns or they possessed any weapon of mass destruction or knives. They did it in a form of respect to their leader. But right now we are seeing the ruling parties in Kyankwanzi wearing UPDF uniforms, and most of them are not soldiers. So, first of all, that case is political. It is not about what they did, it is about who did it. Because if it's about what they did, the honorables in Kyankwanzi wouldn't be wearing UPDF uniforms, they would be wearing civilian attires. But it is who did it, and this raises an issue of double standards. Because keeping the deputy spokesperson of Nationality Platform in incarceration, even when his wife has succumbed to death due to cancer, some things are humane. Some grounds are humane, that he would have been accorded a temporary bail to say goodbye to his wife. But since his case is political and is not in any way connected to the so-called unlawful drilling, military drills which they called them, that is why you see he was denied bail. But the law is meant to serve justice, not to serve certain interests. And the law has deemed to assure us again and again that it is serving personal interests. Here
we are looking at the family, right now being a sorry state.
Yes.
The children right now, the father is in prison,
yes.
The mother is dead, and the father, he was denied trial. But what is your take on what is your message to the family?
The father was not only denied trial, the father was even rigged over an election. So this is keeping him in prison. It is like a punishment to his family. It's beyond even him. It's now a punishment to his family, because one of the reasons his wife would have succumbed to death is due to lack of care, because the breadwinner is in prison. His family must be in a bad state. We cannot say we understand the state, but is in bad state. My message in the family would be to make sure, first of all, to make sure that justice is served to their father, to make follow-ups on the courts of law, to continuously file for bail appeals, because he has been kept in prison overdue his time, even with the lack of substantial evidence that this thing was unlawful indeed, or it had any threat to the public. And also advise them and request them to come out to the public, show their concern to the general public. Maybe the general public will rally behind them to demand for justice for Alex Waisswa Mufumbiro and now Edith, because now the justice has to be applied for both. There is injustice which was served to the father. It has led to the death of the mother, and when we leave such things to continue happening, we saw what happened to Chibarama. His wife died afterwards. Same situation. Up to now, we do not see Chibarama anywhere. The Prime Minister said they do not know where Chibarama is. The spokesperson of UPDF said Smart Chibarama is not in the country. The spokesperson of the prison said Smart Chibarama is in custody. So we are allowing shamelessness to prosper in broad daylight, which is something that will come to haunt all of us one day, one time.
So, Honorable, before we leave this topic, what is your take on our medical facilities, the medical sector? She was sick, of course everybody will die, that's for sure. But I want to believe, because I'm a firm believer, that there is pre-death. What is your take on this medical sector of Uganda?
The medical sector of Uganda is very poor. It is in a devastating, miserable state, underfunded. I will quote one day words of the president. He once said that the money they have is to buy guns. It is not for housing and other things. But the budget of Mulago Hospital, sadly, is equivalent to the budget of URA individuals just for medical. And these are individuals who collect taxes from people and they go to Nairobi for better treatment. They go to Germany and other places. So I think we can look at this as something which has been underlooked. The medical sector has been underlooked. Corruption is prospering. Don't go very far. You go to Kawempe Hospital. They are making some people pay for intensive care. Some women pay for intensive care. But that intensive care, that whole facility has to be free. You cannot find any medicine in government hospitals apart from Panadol. Other medicines they have tried for you, and you go outside. The doctors are demoralized. They do not want to work. Their salaries come late. Some are demanding for salary pays. So all these things which we are seeing is because some people are privileged enough not to go to these hospitals. Some people are getting treated from Nakasero Hospital. Some people are getting treated from outside the country. But if they could also go to those hospitals and get that poor treatment and see how bad it is, then maybe they would have the humane feeling to see that even those people deserve better treatment. But these hospitals have been underlooked, they have been abandoned. Yes, there is a bit of funding, but it is little. Even the little funding which is there is embezzled. First of all, the government and the Inspector General of Government, IGG, should look into the corruption in the health sector. From the ministry to the health centers at the municipalities. They should make audits where the medicine is going. And they should also audit the medicine that comes in. Because according to some information, there is medicine being given in government hospitals which is used as test medicine. They give it at government hospitals to see if it can work. And this is why treatment in government hospitals is very poor. Some of these medicines which are being used are tests. They are not medicines which should be used. They are still medicines under testing, which is something very, very devastating and sad.
From us, the perception to the family of Honorable Waisswa Mufumbiro, we say rest in peace, Edith, and I believe everything is going to be well. But keep heart and be strong, just like the Honorable said. We hope to see justice come through for Waisswa Mufumbiro. Another sad story coming in, it came in weeks ago. It is from Ggaba. 4 kids, I won't say children, but kids, 2 years, 1 year, those are babies. We saw them being killed by one Okello Christopher. Okello Christopher was paraded in court. I don't know if you follow that story, Honorable.
Yes.
What is your take on that incident?
Some incidences are predetermined. First of all, this incident will be blamed on Okello's family because Okello has had a history of murder. Okello was not pinned for his previous murders. There is a lot of propaganda involving Okello's case. But we shall, at perception, we don't look at propaganda. We are going to assess the facts. Let us assess the brief facts of the story. We are not going to act as some bloggers out there who are building stories out of this sad story.
True.
Who are politicizing this sad story. Let us look at the situation of Okello. First of all, his family's negligence. How can a person kill the first person? You airlift them. They kill the second person, you airlift them. What are you trying to do? They have not pinned Okello, so Okello is now comfortable enough to go on killing people. Secondly, we would want to request the security at public places, private and public and government owned, to be increased. Okello was able to do what he did because there was not enough security. To an extent that it was a border rider from outside who had to jump over the fence to stop Okello from slicing more children. But where was the security of the place? I feel like security is priority of public and private owned places. There should be double checks on everyone. And people should not just be allowed into places without at least presenting identification. But security was reluctant on this issue. And we request the courts of law to serve justice to those 4 children, as it should be. The justice should not be delayed. Okello's case should be quick. The facts are there, and he should be arrested. But we have seen such people being able to escape with their crimes. The next thing you know, he was released, he was pardoned. Those are the kinds of people who live in public, and after they will come back and kill more people. This time he has killed 4. Next time he will be among the people who will be setting bombs in places because he has proved to be a serial murderer. He should be put in jail very far. We shall not politicize because I have some sources who have other information about that. But that information is not well adequately clear. So we shall not present that information from those private sources. But for the brief facts, negligence of the security, and negligence of the family. And we also request all families with individuals like Okelo to reach out to police, to reach out to mental health sectors and places. These people need help, and some need to be put away in order to save other people's lives.
Still, from us, the perception, we are with you, the parents of the 4 children, and also other kids. I'm very sure it traumatized a lot of children and the teachers and the community in Ggaba. So we are with you and we are praying for you, and we believe the government, we need more of security to that matter. Yeah, Honorable, there is it's not news. I won't say that it is news. I'm still stuck on the unfortunate news. But let us dive into the Kyankwanzi NRM retreat.
Yes.
You followed it.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Let us look at the instance of Kyankwanzi. It is termed as a leadership mentorship sector, something like that, for patriotism and a bit of civilian military training. But Kyankwanzi over the years has lost its national branding. It is now a party place. That if it was so, maybe they would accord even other political interests to use the space of Kyankwanzi and also accord them resources. These retreats have to be for every member of parliament and every elect everywhere, but not only elects of a certain political party. This brings about the partisan politics in parliament, that even things that are very unnecessary will pass. His Excellency made a very sad statement that if he was only forceful, even the parliament wouldn't stop his suggestions. He says, how can he suggest something and the parliament refuses it? But that is how democracy works. It is the reason for the legislature. It has to assess the executive's proposals and pass them and also advise and maybe alter them where needed. But now they are making the parliament a school with the head teacher just giving instructions which have to be done. And this would be a sad situation for our country. We are looking at what is happening right now in the caucus and whatever they are discussing, some on camera and some off camera. But whatever they are discussing is what is going to take Uganda in front. Mind you, this is a transitional parliament. The NRM might be looking for a successor for its power. Now, whatever they are going to do will be in form of succession. Now, them planning for a succession of a country with only involving their interests
and leaving out
the public and other different views of interests would lead us to a catastrophe, economic, social, and political in the nearby future. Yes.
One of the most talked about issue in Kyankwanzi, we saw a lady, the Right Honorable Speaker, Anita Among. She made a bold statement in her speech when she was addressing the NRM caucus. And she was telling them, she said that a visitor can only be, when you allow a visitor to come into your home, he or she has to remain in the compound. But the visitor shouldn't go into the bedroom. And she made it clear that this time round the bedroom is the speakership. What is your take on that matter? Back
to the issue of what is happening right now in Kyankwanzi. The retreat should be a national retreat, but let us say the NRM retreat for the parliamentary elects. This retreat which is now partisan, whereby Kyankwanzi lost its pride. It should be a national center for leadership mentoring and grooming. But whereby senga kino ekintu kyali sikyabya bibiina, senga n'ebibiina byaba biwako ku space awo Kyankwanzi tomanya tebaali kutte naba unlawful kukola military drills. N'ekyo tukiteeka wabbali tutunuulye ekigenda mu maaso Kyankwanzi. Right now, what is going on in Kyankwanzi, we shall go with the president's comments. He said the speakership will not be up for discussion. As I already told you earlier, that before the president had made a disappointing statement, showing that this parliament will be a parliament to serve his interests, not the Ugandans' interests. And I already told you what he said. Now, secondly, we look at what is happening there. What they are talking about behind closed doors. And the main topic, as you said, which is the speakership, which is being discussed behind doors, not in front of doors. First of all, we need to understand that Honorable Norbert Mao was invited by the president himself through Tadong. There has to be a reason why he was invited.
Sure.
Yes. Secondly, Norbert Mao does align with their interests very well. He can protect and preserve the gains. Ugandans are looking for a difference. His Excellency knows and he realizes. You know, when we are looking at issues, we do not look at them at a minor and myopia way. Look at them at a broader perspective. Maybe letting Mao take over the speakership can give Ugandans a bit of hope that maybe one day the rule will change.
So you're in support of Mao?
I would not say I'm in support of Mao. I thought to equal perspective we are talking about opinions.
Yeah.
I wouldn't support Mao because now Mao is also like a girlfriend. He's doing whatever they are telling him to do.
We had the CDF.
He entered a marriage.
The CDF General Hose, Kainerugaba.
Yes.
He was telling Mao,
Yes.
calling him my big brother,
Yes.
to step aside for Anita Mo.
They can get bigger positions.
They can get bigger positions.
As I've continued to tell you that, as Ugandans we see it on top, but Honorable is being prepared and set for a bigger role. As I told you, this will be a transitional period and a transitional parliament.
Are we seeing him being, if at all the speakership doesn't go his way, do we see him becoming the vice president of this country?
Maybe prime minister. Yes.
But with all this retreat, the Kyankwanzi retreat and the speakership, do you think that, don't you think that Ugandans and the parliament is denied an opportunity of a better speaker? Do you think that we have the best options?
First
with Among and the ones in the race, Mao and the rest?
First of all, for the point of speakership, it is precedented from the elections. First of all, we look at what happened in the elections, whereby some certain political parties were forcefully denied opportunity to have members of parliament in some areas, representatives. Secondly, these parties no longer are allowed to receive donations from abroad. And even people who can donate within fear that if I donate to a certain political party, I'll be persecuted. So these political parties have no money to front candidates on different constituencies, meaning they do not have numbers or a say in the speakership, leaving the speakership to the party with the majority seats, which is 3/4 of parliament, which is the NRM. Now the NRM does not choose a speakership depending on the interests of the legislature or the public. It chooses a speaker on the interests of the regime and the chief operator of the regime. Yeah. So the question of the speakership cannot apply to Ugandans being left out, because Ugandans were left out from the election season.
With this, okay, let us leave along the speakership. But before we leave the rooms of parliament, there is a motion for the leader of opposition to be elected by everybody.
It was dismissed.
It was dismissed, but I'm saying, do you think it was proper? If the NRM, because right now we know whoever the NRM says is going to run for speakership is going to go through, because they have the majority, voters as parliamentarians. But still, for that motion of the leader of opposition, was it proper? Or do you think that it was the right call?
The reason it was dismissed is because it was not proper. As it should be, is the party with the most representatives. It's the members of parliament of that party who should pick the leader of opposition. And the reason as to why it was dismissed is because it was not proper and it could not work. Because you cannot allow your enemy to choose for you a fighter. How are you going to allow your enemy to give your best fighter a sword? Of course, he will give the weakest. So that is why the motion was dismissed, because it couldn't make sense. But then we are seeing that other ridiculous motions which are going to come up, which one of them made headlines yesterday. They are going to advocate for a term to be 7 years for both presidential and parliamentary. These are one of the things Honorable AAA is looking at if she regains her seat. But this would be good, because first of all, you look at a road project, a minimum road project can take like 4 years. So if they could expand the time of a term to go to 7 years, to reduce on the costs maybe of elections, and to also make sure that the current people in power could finish up with their projects, which could be good. But this is not bought in a perspective of being good to the public. It is being bought in a perspective of favoring already abaliyo. That tutunubye ebintu bingi ebyali badde birungi naye ate bijja mu ngeri y'okufavoring already abaliyo. So many of these, some of the suggestions coming up are good, but are very, very bad in the intention they have bought them. Yet some are very terrible and will be pushed through with. So very many things, as I told you, this is going to be a transitional parliament. That way when you love ebintu bingi nnyo ebyenjawulo ebigenda okujja.
Ngazake ye leader of opposition.
I cannot comment. Yes, sir.
Earlier last week, the Uganda Media Center, through their ED, Alan Kasujja, announced that President Museveni, the president-elect, is going to be swearing in on the 12th of May.
Yes.
What is your take on that?
Have you, by the way, found about the budget of his swearing in alone? Around 6 billion.
Is the president?
As his money. Like around 6 billion for only his swearing in. Tetugenda kutunulayo nnyo naye, as we wait for his swearing in, he's already the sitting president, so he's doing already his role. So we don't have anything much to discuss about his swearing in, apart from the fact that it is usual business he will swear in.
Where you come from, the MP elect is NRM.
Yes.
So you people happy?
They are not happy.
And yet they have the majority. They voted.
Because they did not vote.
They did what?
NRM. You see, there is information that is public and information that is not public. But one of the public information is you go and try to request for the tally sheets of Kawempe South from Electoral Commission, you will see that over 3 parishes were not tallied. They announced results of around 7 parishes or 8, and of those 7 parishes or 8, the results were interchanged. Even as minor candidates, they reached on giving us 0 on the polling stations where we voted from. On the polling station where I voted from, I was given 0. Not even my vote was counted.
Sure.
Yes. St. Emmanuel College has given 0. Not even my vote was counted. So you say that we elected, and if that malpractice was in parliamentary, then you have your answer for presidential.
What are you trying to insinuate?
Is that things are evident.
That
you have your answer. I've given you an example. So the view of perspection will understand that what they voted was just voting.
Because
decisions were made.
I thought that your people, since they elected the MP-elect belonging to the NRM, they are very excited about the swearing in.
She was installed. Yes, they downloaded for us a member of parliament and installed. Kati tulinze bulinzi kusavinga kwa diski katonda anatusobozesa ne formatting ne deleting atweyongerayo maaso.
So who won?
It is the Electoral Commission only that announces who won and who lost. The Electoral Commission announced the victor, but it did not announce
a downloaded victor.
Yes, it announced a downloaded and installed victor. It did not announce the winner. The true winners should be a person of the people of Kawempe's choice. And the people of Kawempe are the only ones who can answer the question of who won. Me, I do not have the power to answer the question of who won.
What are your expectations to the new government?
To the new government elected?
Elected. Because it is the government elect.
Maybe
the president elect. What are some of those things that you want to see?
I would have requests. I would request that the student scholarship program, as I told you last time, is reviewed, and they should start up a student loan program whereby anyone can study from primary to secondary for free, and after they can get jobs and pay. I would call for government to ban all public school, all private schools. The private schools which are refuse to comply should be taxed highly, and that money is used to finance the public schools. I would call out to the government to increase funding to the health sector.
You talked about it earlier.
I would call out to the government to increase salary of police, to give them morale, and to also increase many people to enter police and to reduce on the unemployment. I would call out on government to speed up road projects. There are projects which have been going on for 13 years, yet the money was budgeted and it went through. I would call for more serious audits by the Anti-Corruption Unit and the IGG into government officials and all government programs.
Okay.
I would call for better distribution of PDM funds to the public.
Okay, as we went up this...
That is just a view of many demands that we Ugandans have towards the new incoming and old government. That we would request they at least change mu nkola zaabwe enkadde wadde be bamu naye bakomewoko n'enkola empya Abannayuganda waakiri beyagalireko mu ggwanga eryabwe. So
as is going to swear in, are you going to say congratulations to the president-elect?
Next question.
Okay. So, Honorable, I think last week we saw the elections of Makerere University taking stage. And then we saw the winner coming from NUP. Kadondi Gracious, I think that is the name. Kadondi Gracious, sorry. What is your overview of the elections? First of all, the campaigns, the money that was spent, the intimidation. What is your overview of the campaigns before we go to the elections?
First of all, I would want to congratulate the President-elect of Makerere, dude, Kadondi Gracious. I send my utmost congratulations to you. No kuyozayoza webale kubuuka mu fulampeni n'otagwa mu sigiri n'ogwebweru w'essigiri. Makerere has proved to us that it being a mighty institution, that its students and its will and the will of integrity and democracy can overpower the will of power and influence. That Makerere has proved to us that omuntu asoba nga tayagalwa people controlling the place or a perception, but still nawangula. We shall tutunulira that Kadondi Gracious, first of all, she does not look like an individual who the administration favored. Because Makerere, being a big institution, it would favor a candidate who would align with the national government interests. But Kadondi, being a candidate endorsed by an opposition leader, would not favorably align with the national government interests. Secondly, we look at the monetization, and there are a lot of drama and chaos that was in these campaigns. Even there is a moment whereby in both rallies at something over Naika Hostel and Douglas Villa, if I'm not mistaken. Nga bombi balina date ye.
Nani? Kadondi
ne Hannah Karema. Those were the two competitors, others were participants. Tutunulira balina we balinako venue. Nga bombi ye mu lunaku lwe lumu. Ne candidate omu ye n'alabika okubeera nga they can make exclusive phone calls more than the other candidate. So bino byonna tubitunuulira. Why are people at Makerere investing money to call artists to come and sing on campaigns? Makerere should represent integrity and knowledge. Makerere campaigning strategy yalibadde not even public rallies. Kwalibadde maybe organizing a debates, maybe organizing a talk shows, ne babayita, ne bakubaganya. But we do not hear even the manifestos of these people. Baneno be
tuwulira vibe.
Twawulidde Makerere wo, Smabichiwo, instead of
the ideas
and their perspectives, how they are going to take the institution back to a prestigious status. Tewali yadde akifaako ekyo. It is very sad that the base and hub of the corporate world still looks at elections in demeaning ways. Tuchatunulira elections in way of races, that ono ali kino, ono ali kino. Bachatunulira elections in way of religion, that osijja mulonda lwa kino, osijja mulonda lwa kino, n'ebintu ebirala nga etubiraba. Instead of them voting a person who will align with the university interests or will give a perspective and ideas as so building a university, they vote a person who fits into what they think is right. Igi religion, igi tribe. But still, the biggest institution in Uganda, being that it is voting in an opposition endorsed candidate, is a bad sign to the ruling government. All revolutions are known to have started through academic institutions. If the academic institution and sector, the biggest in East Africa, is communicating that we are not interested in anyone who is allied with the government, let it be in a tribal way, party way, or relationship way, you will not be voted at the hill. That is a bad sign.
Okay.
And it is a message to the government that the people at the institutions, different institutions, not only Makerere, feel like the government has ignored and forgot them. The tuition is very high. The sponsorships are very limited. A child on government sponsorship is getting an allowance average of only 3,000 a day. Very little money. Some children cannot access the institutions.
Yeah.
So that is voting in an opposition endorsed candidate is a cry for hope and help at the same time.
Right.
And it's a question of concern that the people in power should look at. Why is it happening and how can it be solved?
For us who are not on ground, twali online. Nayenga online bagamba nti ekiri ku ground kiralamuko because I think I'm speaking for many. We thought Hannah is taking it all. The outcome of the election as it unfolded, and we saw Kadondi winning.
Yes.
Do you know her personally?
I do not know Kadondi personally.
But did you get to hear her manifesto?
Honestly, no. I got only to see that she is a member coming and representing the National Unity Platform.
So, do you think, am I wrong to say that she won because she comes from the NUP, which was representing NUP?
You are not wrong. I already gave you an explanation for that.
So,
that people are showing dissatisfaction to anyone linked to the ruling party. That is why, even when Hannah was the leading candidate in terms of vibe, she could not win because people linked her to the ruling party, even if she was an independent. That is what costed her victory. That if in any way people did not link her to the government, she was a good and suitable candidate, quite hardworking lady. But,
former Miss Uganda.
Yes, but here in Uganda, if you are in any way linked to the people in power, you cannot enter power fairly. Unless they download and install you, like Chebakura and Kawempe. But that cannot happen anymore corporate. Because Bama Suga we mabikure and they are more observant. So badi tewaswa kubadwe tekera their election. So
what is that message you are sending to mobs? Because they are also going into the elections. So are you sending a clear indication to the NRM and the leaning NRM candidates that
Mobzi jiveko, Mobzi bowali mo party. When you are talking about politics, Mobzi is a school. In politics, it is not an institution, it's a school. Their politics taina na tumalia budde atumwogerako.
Honorable Bwagambi, we have come to the end of the perception show for today. And Honorable, do you have your final remarks?
My final remarks?
For our viewers.
For our viewers. First of all, we continue to send condolences no kunyura konna to the family of Alex Waisswa Mufumbiro and the whole National Unity Platform family in Uganda and the diaspora for losing their comrade and who is succumbed to death due to precedented political factors of keeping her husband in prison, even without proper judicial processes. We more send condolences to those who lost their children in the Ggaba killing, and we pray that one Okero is brought to justice. And this should serve as a precedent and as an example to everyone governing a private or public place that security should be vigilant and always make sure that these people are cross-checked and double-checked before you allow them into the institutions. We furthermore twebaza nnyo omukulu oyo omuvuzi w'ekidduuko wa piki eyabuuka obbeera ng'ataasa abaana yonna gy'oli buno obubaka bwe bukutuukako gezaako nnoonye. Yesebo tweyanza nnyo omulimu gwe wakola kusaba ogezeeko nnoonye yenna obubaka gye buli. Musiibe bulungi. Sigala nze Kyagulanyi Musa Tariq ku programu yaffe neya Perspection. Omukulu neyanza nnyo okusiima n'onkyaza neero olwaleero. Musiibe bulungi mweraba.
You've heard it all from the man himself, Honorable Kyagulanyi Musa Tariq. Please catch us on YouTube, The Perception, on TikTok and Instagram. I remain your host, Buena, and bye.